What's up, guys? This is the Board Game Roamer, and we are here with Wonder, Cult of Barnacle Bay. We're finally getting around to the Krex fight. I've already got this set up, but I do want to take a quick second to kind of explain this, because this is the first time we've had a boss fight, so it does work a little bit different. So the first thing is, you'll notice that there are no enemies over here, right? And that is because in a boss fight, each boss, and depending on which boss it is, some of them just have one deck, right? They have a deck of cards that are basically their actions, and then they have a card over here. Now, depending on who you're fighting, for example, Elderbane has 3 levels, so depending on when you fight him, those levels change and things change as he gets higher levels, hit points change, defense, etc., etc. But this is true for all bosses, that they all have this deck. So this deck is their actions. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 cards in here, right? So what happens is we shuffle this, and I've already shuffled it, so I'll just shuffle it again right quick, all right? So that sits there. You'll notice over here on the initiative track, like I said, you do not also see initiative card for Krex. That's because the way this works is our heroes go. Then, after they go, we draw a card from this deck. We read it. We do whatever it says over here. Then we go to the next hero. And we literally just alternate this back and forth until we've defeated the enemy. So, having said that, let's take a quick gander at the initiative board. We have Gunbjorn in a defensive first track. Eileen in the second initiative order with an attack bonus, Bebo third with movement, and Tank fourth with defense. All right. So let's take a quick look also at our heroes, and let's see what they've got in terms of their abilities. All right, you'll have to forgive the boringness because I'm having to do this by hand, which is interesting. I'm not used to doing this because my camera is not wanting to act right. This one isn't. So let's take a quick look at our heroes. So we got Eileen. I'm going with the Shuriken, which is ranged. Obviously, the Ripper does more, right? But Krex does a lot of movement. So I feel like, and it's moving through spaces and moving people out and hitting, moving towards targets and then doing a bunch of damage. So I feel like if I can keep a distance, that'll help. And then you'll notice I also took the flight, which is hard to see there, I know. But I took the flight option because, the reality is there's a lot of water on this space. So I thought that was a good option. Next, of course, we have Tank, who's going to take his counter-strike, vicious counter, and he has his normal hammer and shield. Hopefully we can get him a better weapon, one-handed weapon. Also, I forgot to do that. Eileen has 4, she just has 4 health. Tank, he has 4 health. Sorry, he has 6 health because he's got this extra HP from, the extra HP from this right here, amulet of protection. So we're going to see what we can do with him. Then we have Gunbjorn, of course, wielding his dragon bow, and he's got 5 health. He doesn't have anything that adds health, but he does have his actually he has 6 health. I'm glad I looked at that. He has fortitude, so he does have actually 6 health. His fortitude gives him 1 defense and 1 HP, so he'll actually have 3 defense. And Tank, while we're talking about defense, has 2 for his stat, 3, 4, 5. So he's pretty beefy on defense. Then, of course, we have Bebo. She's got the 4 ranged attack spell. She normally has 3 health, but she gets +1 HP. So 4 total for this gem that we got a while back. She gets +1 attack against enemies with full health, so that's not going to help a whole lot. but she just gets one attack in general, and she is taking. She's taking Hallie's defense, which we don't have Haley out, but we may put her out at some point, just because an AoE wound is not going to help us in this. He doesn't summon anybody. Krex doesn't. He just runs around, around the board. So that is our heroes, and hopefully we can defeat this guy. That's the theory anyway, right? Let's go ahead and get started. We've got our dice over here. Let's get some of these out because it's probably not going to be good. It may not be good. Let's go ahead and put Eileen over here. I got to get Eileen's health. Got to put that out earlier for health. All right. And we get 1 die for keeping up with actions. So everybody starts with 3 actions. So the difficult part here is going to be how to get over there to this guy. So I think, and remember, enemies aren't affected by things like, the only thing they can't go through is a wall. But like with water, they can just walk right through it like it's normal space. So I'm not going to be slowed, or excuse me, Krex is not going to be slowed by that water, which is going to be a bit difficult for us. But hey, what can you say? So we've got, I said 3 actions. I didn't mean 3 actions. I meant 2 actions. So we've got 2 actions for our hero, Gunbjorn. And the scenario, I guess I should read that to you. You probably want to hear that. Krex. Oh wait, we all start over here. Alright, following the evident sounds of destruction, the Wanderers finally entered a larger chamber where they found the beast known as Krex. Half lobster, half crocodile, this lieutenant of Elderbane willingly chose to yield to the darkness. This caused his monstrous mutation and growth, which made him an unmatched destructive force, charging into the walls and smashing pillars. He would eventually destroy all the support beams holding the tunnels up, leaving Barnacle Bay to collapse into the ocean. The adventurers had no way to prepare for a beast this unpredictable, but it was clear that Krex had to be stopped. Our objective, defeat Krex. Special rules, again, this talks about a boss fight, so we've got the cards shuffled. It says, many of Krex's attacks, and I'm reading on page 25 of the scenario book in case you're curious. Have him move, charge through hero spaces. If Krex ever moves through or ends in hero space, those heroes must be pushed out to a close space. Now, if we beat him, we get to draw 2 treasure cards from the level 2 scenario deck. Sorry, the level 2 scenario deck, level 2 treasure deck. I have those here waiting. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do. I know he does do a lot of movement, and he actually has a couple things that make poison, which is always fun. As I understand it, tier spawns work a little bit differently. Alright, so the way they work is we track our experience like normal, but instead of in a normal tier spawn, when somebody hits that tier, we spawn creatures, right? We don't do that. We don't draw another card because there's no, cards to do. So instead, what we do is we just flip over an extra one of these, right? Also, the other thing about the boss fights is that each time a hero wounds the boss, in this case Krex, you get an experience just for doing a wound. And I think that is partially to drive the, I think that's a mechanic to drive the, the AI deck here up, have it tick up quicker. So that's what we're facing. Like I said, we start out with 2 actions, which kind of sucks because I really don't want Gunbjorn to do too much. So we use his first action to move here, maybe a second action to move there. Actually, we'll just move here. And then we flip the card. So Krex moves 2 spaces and attacks the closest hero for 2 hits. So the target is going to be like a normal target, right? So it's going to be that player with the highest initiative order. So he's going to move 2 spaces. So we'll say he does that. Now, the one advantage we do have is that we can control how he moves. So we could have said 1, 2, 1, 2, right? It's the shortest distance, but we can control that somewhat right now. So I'm going to say 1, 2. Okay, so that's his Gunbjorn's move, and then that is Krex's move. So that'll go down here to this discard we'll make. So then we go to Eileen, who is ranged. So we're going to go 1 action here, and then we're going to leave her with 1 action. We're going to attack with the next action. We're going to get 3 dice, right, for the shurikens, but we're going to get 4 because she is in the attack position. So 4 dice range. Now, remember, Krex does have a defense of 2, so he is hard to hit, but we'll see what happens. So, okay, so that's 3 hits and a crit. We do have an attack reroll, so 1 more. Oh gosh, another crit. Okay, and oh shoot, didn't roll the thing. Miss. All right, so we do have an attack reroll, so we can reroll these. Yeah. We can. I wish we could roll 2, but we can't. So this one's definitely out because we only have 1 reroll. And oh wow, okay. So that's 4 hits total. We take away 2 of those for Krex's defense, so he took 2 hits. So what I've done over here, they have the sliders for these, but I mean, I'll just be honest with you, I don't like them. So I'd almost just rather have like a little placard made where you could put like 1 through 10 and then put kind of like Terraforming Mars. Anyway, he takes 2 hits. So I had 24 total points showing. So 1, 2. So that's 23 hit points left. All right. So that's 2 hits. That means now that Eileen over here gets 2 experience points. So we're going to put that with our little dice there to show that. So that's Eileen's turn. Then Krex goes. Melee attack the closest hero for 2 hits. Knock down all close. Let me do it like that. All close heroes. Okay, well, the good news is he doesn't move. Nobody's close. Nothing happens. Now we go to Bebo. Bebo has a free move action. She's also ranged, so we might as well do that. So she's going to use her 1 move action to move here, and then she's going to use both of her normal actions to do attacks. So she's going to get 4 for her card, her leech. She's going to get 5 for her gloves. He's not at full health, so she does not get that extra normal attack. But she does have 1 attack reroll. Yeah. So we're looking for ranged. So here's the 5 dice. All right, for range, we do have an attack reroll, so let's use that for this. 5 hits. Holy cow. Okay. So 5 hits. We have to remove 2 of those for defense. That's 3 hits. So 11, 10, 9, 8. So he now has 20 hit points. And she gets 3 experience points. So we're going to set her experience now to 3. Okay. She went. Oh, wait, that was just one attack, too. 1, 2, 3. Her second attack. Okay, so there's 3 hits with 2 crits. So here's the 2 crits. Oh my goodness. Both hits. Reroll one of these. Nothing. Okay, so these are misses completely. We have to take away 2 for his defense. She gets 3 more. I believe the way the rules read, it says after you defeat a model, you get the experience, so it's not like at the end of your turn. So it would happen immediately. So she's going to get 3 more XP, which is great, except that puts her to 6, which is halfway through the next tier. This, okay, but not super great in that we have to do an extra spawn, right? So let's take a quick look at her card and go ahead and choose what we're going to do for her, and then we'll go back. So here's her card, right? So we have the option of, well, we don't have an option. This is the attack action. So we're just going to place this here. So that means she has 3 actions. Now, interestingly, I believe that happens immediately. So she would have a 3rd action, okay? But what happens with him, with Krex, right, is that he gets to go immediately draw one of those cards. So let's go back down to the table and let's see if we can do anything else. All right, so we'll also need to give everybody an extra experience. Everybody gets 1. So that becomes a 3 for Eileen. That gives Tank 1. If I can find it on the die. There he is. And that gives Bebo, obviously, 6. And Gunbjorn gets his 1. Okay, so as soon as the tier spawn happens, we immediately draw the card. This is going to hurt. Charge. Move 3 spaces in the direction of the hero with the lowest HP, and then melee attacks them for 1 hit. Knock down all heroes in his path. Move Krex 3 spaces in the direction of the hero with the lowest HP, and then melee attacks them for 1 hit. So it's not the lowest total, it's the lowest actual. So it's either going to be Bebo or Eileen. I guess, so 3 spaces towards. I'm assuming that if you get to the location that you stop, so we're going to move there. Now the bad thing about this is, now if they did a ground pound, we're in trouble, right? Because we're in all the spaces. Now we're in all the spaces surrounding him. But he goes and he does 1 hit. So Eileen has 2 defense. He does have 1 defensive reroll, but 2 defense. So we roll that. Look at that. 1 defense, 1 hit. Thank goodness this wasn't. Some of these are 2 hits. So, all right. Now Eileen gets to go again with her 3rd action. And honestly, I'm going to move her right there because I don't know what this next card is. And if it's like a pound, she doesn't have a whole lot of HP. I don't want to take that chance. So that's her. Then we're going to draw Krex's card because that's the end of her turn. Remember, this card, this last one we drew was just for the tier spawn. Ferocious Bite. Move 2 spaces and melee attacks the closest hero for 2 hits. Any wounds taken cause Krex to heal for 1 HP per wound. Krex moves 2 spaces and melee attacks the closest. Oh, yeah. So he's going to attack, and if he does any damage, he's going to get healed up. Okay, so Krex moves 2 spaces and melee attacks the closest hero for 2 hits. Now, the interesting part of this is it seems like, is he trying to? It says he moves 2 spaces, so does that mean he moves, period? I mean, he can't move any closer. Let me see if I can look this up right quick. Okay, so from what I can find, I think I've messed this up already, but I don't know if there's a good way to fix it. Let me look here. So some of his cards say, oh, this is at the bottom. See how this card says in the direction of? When his movement, this card says move Krex 3 spaces. So this card says 2 spaces. So my understanding based on one of the designer's replies in a thread I found on BGG is that if it says in the direction of, when he does that, because it's like a charge, he's going to move and he's going to go as far as he can, even if it takes him past whatever his target was. And then if its target's, he's going to attack whoever he can, whoever his target is. But in this case, it just says move him 2 spaces. So I'm going to assume that that's not in the direction of, so he's just going to move 2 to try to get close to whoever his target is, but not charge necessarily. So he moves 2. And melee attacks the closest hero for 2 hits. Now, the closest hero, obviously, is either Eileen or Gunbjorn, but remember, we go by initiative order, so we have to go with Gunbjorn first. Gunbjorn has 3 defense, so let's roll his defense. Oh, look at that. 1 more for the crit. That's okay, he's got 2 defense, which means he doesn't take any damage, amazingly enough. That is ridiculous. I didn't think that was going to happen. Alright, next up is Tank. Alright, so Tank's going to go, and I think what we're going to do with Tank should come as probably no surprise. I think what we're going to do with Tank is we are going to... Yeah, I think that's going to be the best thing. So we're actually, we're going to move this down. He's going to go to the top. That's going to be his turn. Because we want to get him where he can start defensively striking. Okay. Ground pound. Uh-oh. Melee attack, the closest hero for 2 hits and knock down all close heroes. So the closest hero for 2 hits is going to be Gunbjorn, who's only going to get 2 defensive dice because, remember, he moved out of the spot over here. So here we go. All right, so there's 1 defense and a crit. Come on. I don't think he has any rerolls either. No rerolls. Oh, he has 3 defense. Never mind. Okay, because he had the +1 for his fortitude. So now we roll for the crit. No, and we get a reroll. No. Okay, so he takes 1 hit, so he goes down to 5. And then knockdown happens on all close heroes. Now remember, close is not orthogonal, which I guess in this case is kind of nice. All right. So he gets knocked down. What does knockdown do? We put it on its side, and then they have -1 defense until they stand back up. And standing up costs an action. Yeah. Now, you can knock down enemies, and the good thing about knocking down enemies is if you want to move away from them, it doesn't count as a dodge. But yeah, that's not good. Okay, so where were we at? Tank. So now we go back to the top. So it's Tank's turn. So we're going to move Tank in here. Right? And then Tank's going to attack with 3 attack dice for his hammer. And he gets 1 reroll, attack reroll. So 3 dice. There's 2 hits, so let's roll the reroll. Okay, so that's 2 hits, minus 2 for the defense, which is 1 hit. So we take Krex down to 7. So Tank gets another XP, puts him at a whole 2. That's his second action because he moved, right? And then, there you go. Move Krex 2 spaces in the direction of the hero placed highest in the initiative track. And then melee attack them for 2 hits. Knock down all heroes in the path. Okay, so this is what I was saying. In the direction of. So, that means he's going to move here. Okay. So that means these have to be displaced. We're going to opt to displace them here. So he's going to move here. And then he's going to try to hit Tank. Okay. So he's going to move and displace. Now, I'm assuming that the knockdown... I don't know if the knockdown... I guess the knockdown happens now. So it's going to flip him over. It's not good. He's going to get 2 hits, but he's got 2 defense, 3 defense for his shield, 4 defense for his helm, 5 defense for his amulet, minus 1 because he's knocked down, so he's going to have 4 defense dice. Remember, we want crits because that's going to do damage to him. Okay. So 2 hits. Okay. Alright, and I don't believe we have any... We have 1 attack reroll. So let's reroll this. Okay. So that's defense. So we blocked 2. Actually, we blocked 4, technically. But we take away 2 of those. But we did have 2 crits, which because of his vicious counter means Krex takes 2 more damage. So that takes him down to 5, which gives 2 more points to Tank. So that makes him have 4 points total, which puts him into the next bracket, so he gets his extra action. So now he'll have 3 actions. Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot to roll the extra dice for up here, so let's roll that. Let's see if that makes a difference. No, it didn't make a difference. Okay. Okay. Wow, that kind of sucked. That hurt. Both of them down, because that's an extra action to stand back up. Yeah. Okay. Well, now we go to Gunnbjorn. Gunnbjorn is going to use an action to stand up, and then he's going to melee attack with 5 dice against Krex with his 1 action that he has left. So here we go. Melee attack, 5 dice. And he has no rerolls, I do not believe. No, he has nothing. So that's 3 hits, no rerolls, 3 hits, minus 2 for Krex's defense, so that's 1 damage to Krex. It's slow but steady, which gives Gunnbjorn another point. Okay, so he's at a whopping 2. Now we draw Krex's card, because remember, he only has 2 actions. 1 action was to stand up, and then the other one was to attack Krex. So, regenerate Krex heals for 1 HP. Alright. Well, that's pretty simple. So he just got back the HP damage that we just did. Not the end of the world. Hopefully that's the only one like that in there, I think. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Alright, so that takes care of Gunbjorn. Oh wait, gosh, I did it again. He should have rolled 6 dice. Oh, Krex takes another one from before. So he should have rolled 1 extra dice because of his position over here. I failed to do that, which means actually Gunbjorn gets another XP to put him to 3. Alright. That was Krex, did the regenerating. Eileen's next. Eileen's going to have to spend 1 to stand up. And then going to move here with the second one. And unfortunately, that's all she can do with 2 actions. Alright. Here we go. Charge the weak. Move Krex 2 spaces in the direction of the hero with the lowest XP, and then melee attacks them for 1 hit. Knock down all heroes in path. So, Bebo and Eileen both have 4. Eileen is highest on the initiative track. So he's going to move, how many spaces did it say? 2 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2. When he gets here, that's going to displace and also knock down Eileen. And then he's going to attack for 1 hit. So Eileen normally gets 2 defense. Now Eileen only gets 1 because he's knocked down. And we do have a reroll. Okay, there's a crit. That's great. We're good. We're good. Let's reroll it and see what would happen. Yeah, we're still good. So, actually no damage, which is amazing. That's, wow. Bebo next. Bebo has 3 actions. Bebo is going to be using ranged actions. So she's going to get 4 for her card, 5 for her gloves, and yes, 5 ranged. Now remember, she does have 3 actions. So now she'll have 2 actions. So that was cocked. Let's see what we get. Okay, so wow. There's this is first action too, with 2 crits. Okay. And she gets 1 attack. No, she does not get 1 attack reroll. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits minus 2 for his defense. So that's 3 hits on the first attack against Krex. It's going to put her to 9 experience. 9 experience. And that's going to give him 3 hits. Boom. Now that actually puts her into another tier, which immediately has a cascade effect. Let's go over here and watch this cascade effect happen as best we can. So the cascade effect is going to be that everybody else is going to get 2 XP, right? Which is great. But it's going to cause some decisions that have to be made for them as well. So here we go. So Eileen gets 2 XP. That goes from 3, takes him from 3 to 5. And where is that on the ding? There it is. So he goes to 5, which means he gets, boom, an extra action. That's great. We like that. Tank gets 2 XP, which puts him to 6. Okay. Now, doesn't tear him up, but He gets him closer. Bebo is the one responsible for this, so nothing happens there. Gunbjorn gets 2 experience, which puts him to 5. And again, gives him another action. But notice that 9 points on this chart here breaks us into a new tier. And so, as such, we now have to pull another card for Krex. Yuck. Alright, so Krex gets another card. He attacks all close heroes for 1 hit. Any wounds taken cause heroes to suffer poison. Oh, that's horrible. Oh my gosh, that's the worst. Okay, well, let's start with Eileen, I guess. Eileen has 2 defense, -1 for being knocked down. He's attacking with 1 hit. He does have a defense reroll. There was the first roll. Come on. Oh, no. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. So he's going to take 1 hit. It's going to take him down to 3. But probably the worst is it's going to put poison on him. So this token is going to go on Eileen. And that's just no good. All right. Bebo gets 2 defense normally. And she gets 3 defense because she's in this position, because she is close. We still only used 1 of her attacks. Here we go. Hoping we can roll 1 defense. Rolled 1 defense. Okay, so she takes no damage. But remember the card said what did the card? Oh, there it is. Any wounds taken. Okay, so there's at least it's not a regenerate on him, on Krex. All right, she's going again. That was just one hit. Wow. She's gonna attack again. She has 3, 4, 5 for her 4 for her attack, +1 for her gloves, and we're looking for ranged. Alright, so here we go. Ranged, ranged, ranged. There's 3 ranged. No attack rerolls. So 3 ranged is going to be 1 total hit. So Krex loses another one. That puts her up to 10 points experience. And then she'll use her final action to do that again. 5 points. Actually, you know what? I think at this point we could probably just sit them right there. So 5 points. Oh my. 5 points. 5 attack. So there's 4 hits with 3 crits. And that was another crit. Alright, so that's 6 hits. And she does not have any... don't believe she has any rerolls. Yeah. So 6 hits. That's going to be 4. Just going to take him down to 8 health. She gets 4 more XP, which puts her up to 14. Which is 1 away from going into the next tier. But man, that was worth it. Those crits are amazing. So 8 points is not too bad, really. And we draw the final card of his stack, which is Charge the Proud. 3 spaces in the direction of the hero with the highest XP, and then melee attack. Okay, well, obviously that's her. So she's going to move 3 spaces. And remember, this is in the direction of. So this is that different kind of card that, let's say that, for example, he was right here and she was right here, and it said move 3 spaces in the direction of. he would go 1, 2, 3, and she would be displaced, however we wanted to displace her. But he would end up here and then couldn't attack. Unfortunately, as it stands, with this situation, he moves here. I'm choosing to displace her there, and then he attacks for 2. Yeah. So she's got a defensive... No, she doesn't have a defensive reroll. Yep, she just has 2. Yikes. So 2 defense, trying to no rerolls, no mods, trying to defeat 2 hits. All right, so there's 1. Come on, Bebo. Come on. Come on. 2. Wow. 2. There, look at that. Bebo is a rock star. So far, I think Bebo. Why did I pull that up like that? Bebo, my favorite one in this party. She is laying the smack like no other. Okay, that's her turn. Now we go back to Tank. Now here's the bad part with this running around. This means now that he's like not even close, and so it's gonna be harder to get to him. So since we ran out of all these cards over here, we take all these that we used and we shuffle them. Give them a good shuffle. All right. So obviously, first 3 actions, Tank's gonna stand. Now here's the problem with Tank. And really, oh hey, we can do this. Can we get that over there? Yeah. Here's the problem with Tank. He is not going to be able to get very far because each time he moves, because these are all water spaces, he'll basically move into a space and then have to stop. So even though he can move 2 spaces, once he hits water, boom, he has to stop. So he's got 3 actions. He has to use 1 to stand up. 2, 3. And I'm going to do that hoping that maybe one of the cards we pull will take him that direction. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to tell. We don't know where he's going to go since we just reshuffled that. So yeah, that's his entire turn. So we pull the card. 2 spaces and attack the closest hero for 2 hits. Well, he doesn't have to move 2 spaces. It doesn't say in the direction of. So I'm assuming, so what I'm going with, that means he would attack Bebo for 2 hits. So, all right, so there's 1 defense from her. Oh, no. Just 1 defense, no reroll, so she does take a hit. Takes her down to 3. But, hey, that could have probably been a lot worse. So, let's go with Gunbjorn next. So he now has 3 actions. So he's going to go 1, 2 as well, and he's going to attack. He is in the attack slot over here, so he's going to get 1 die for that. He's going to get 4 dice from his ranged attack with his dragon bow. And that's basically it. He's got 5 dice looking for ranged or crits. Alright, so we got 3. There's 2 crits. He has no rerolls. There's another crit. There's another crit. Holy cow. There's another crit. Holy smokes. And a hit. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Minus 2 of those hits for the defense. That's going to be 5 hits. Wow. That's going to put him up to 10 XP. Which is going to put him in the next column. Oh. I forgot when Bebo went to 14, she should have taken one of her things. So she's going to take that Dark Focus plus 1 attack to spell attacks. That's what she was going to take anyway. So we'll have to remember that. I'm not going to go back and redo that since I forgot it. So he's got 2 options. Chant of Speed. All heroes gain 1 free move action, including Gunbjorn. Oh, let's just pull this out. I can do that easy. So he's going to go for his next tier. Whoop. So you can either do Chant of Speed, which gives him and close heroes an extra move action, or Mystic Weapon may attack with melee weapons from ranged, roll range result, which is fine, but he's already got one that does both. So we're going to go with the Speed just to give everybody else some extra move potentially. So that's what we're going to mark for him. 1, 2, 3, boom. Wow, and then 5 hits. That means, wow, means he goes down to 3. Krex does. Okay. So, whoops, I guess I should put this where it's easy to see. Krex goes down to 3. Wow, and that was his turn. So now we pull the card for Krex. In the direction, move Krex 2 spaces in the direction of the hero with the lowest XP, and then melee attacks them for 1 hit. Okay. The hero with the lowest XP is going to be Eileen. Move Krex 2 spaces in the direction of. So 1, 2. We're going to move him like that. It hits him for 2 hits and does knock down. He's already knocked down. Remember, knockdown is -1 defense. So Eileen is only going to get 1 die. And it does have, because the stiletto, reroll. No. So Eileen takes a hit. Alright. That is that. Eileen goes. Gonna take. Has 3 actions. So obviously one of them is going to be to stand up. And the other 2, make sure I mark this, are going to be to, I think he's going to make an attack and then move. So he has 1 attack reroll. Actually, no. He's going to use 1 action. Whoops. We may end up losing him at some point, but that's just going to be what happens. To switch out his weapons. And then attack, I guess, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. And then he's going to roll 4 dice. Oh yeah, we can do this. So he's gonna stand up for 1, switch back to his rippers for 2. Third action is going to be to attack melee. So that's 3. That's 2 hits, and he has no kind of no kind of anything else like that. But then he's going to move with his free move action. So 1, 2, because remember he has flight, which means he can move freely in the water spaces. But doing that does cause us to make a dodge check. And dodge, you roll your hero's defense against 1 hit, and then you either take the hit or not. But if he's successful, because of his nope, he's not going to do that. Never mind. Forgot his other ability is counter. If he dodges, he gets successfully. He gets to do a wound. So that's going to be. He's got a free move though. I'd rather him just stay there. So the other thing that he's got, remember, is poison. So now we have to deal at the end of his turn with poison. So we have to roll at the end of his turn a defense check. He's got 2. And boom, boom, boom. It's basically poison his defense against 1 hit. So he did defend against it. If he had rolled a crit, the poison would go away. But at least he didn't take any damage from that. So that's a plus. Okay. Now we move on to Bebo. Bebo is going to hopefully bring the hammer. All right. So she has 3 actions. I think she can do this. She has 3 actions. She's going to roll 4 dice for her weapon, plus 1 dice because it is a spell, plus 1 dice for her mighty gloves. So that's going to be 6 dice looking for range. And this is her first action. So she'll have 2 left after this, looking for ranged and crits. She doesn't have any rerolls, which is bad. So, wow, that's only 2 hits. So let's do it again. Just need 3 damage. Come on. There we go. That's much better. She gets 1 crit. She gets to roll another die. Okay, so that's 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits, minus 2. So that's 3, which is enough to take Krex out. Okay, we did it. Whew, that was, holy cow, that was close. So, next up, let's pull out our treasures, right? So these are all level 2 treasures. Actually, let me read. I guess I should probably read this for you. That was tough. I'm assuming that I did this move right because, like I said, in the BGG forum that I found, it said when he moves in the direction of, he just keeps going. So I'm assuming that if he does a normal move that he's just trying to get into position because it's not a charge. So that's what we're going with. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you guys can let me know. So once the scenario is complete, after feeding Krex, the Wanderers needed to regroup. Similar to other tunnels that had ran throughout the underground of Barnacle Bay, this center chamber granted the Wanderers with a few options where they could continue. A tunnel ahead of them seemed to clearly lead them to an inn. This would be a great chance to scavenge for food and drink. Following the tunnel to the north would lead them to the farms and stockhouse on the edge of the bay. To the northeast, the rattling of metal on metal could be heard, along with it, the faint cries of distress. So we have 3 options. We can either go to the inn, the farms, and stockhouse, or go investigate the clanging metal. But in either case, we get to draw 2 of these. So, let's give them a good shuffle so you guys see that I'm not making this stuff up. And shuffle it again. Alright. So we're going to do this cat weasel style. We're going to cut it. I'm going to draw 2. So there's the 2. So let's see what we get. So we get a sushi knife. Plus 1 attack reroll, ignores 1 defense against brute. Oh, that's pretty funny. But it is 5 attack, melee attack, and that attack reroll, which is really nice. The other one is an accessory knowledge ring, plus 1 HP, plus 1 knowledge. So I'm thinking, for now, might as well give. Who should get the melee? The problem is it's 2-handed. Gundorn's already got something, so I don't really think he needs it. I think we're just going to give it to Eileen. So we're going to give the sushi knife to Eileen. And then this knowledge ring. So it's an HP and +1 in a knowledge check. I think we're going to give that to Eileen as well, because Eileen needs more help. Yeah. Yep, I think that's what we're going to do. So, that is Krex defeated. Bye-bye, Krex. And that is the end of this scenario. So, let me know in the comments below which option you would like me to take. Do you want me to go to the inn, to go to the farms in the stockhouse, or go towards the clinging metal? Let me know what your suggestions are, and we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out at the table with me. You guys are awesome. I enjoy spending time with you guys. I am the Board Game Roamer, and I will see you, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video. Bye, guys.